What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Hoe to Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got my boy J Bob on the building. What's up with you, man?
Not much, man. Look forward to another episode tonight, man. Hopefully, we finally got all these technical difficulties figured out. It's been a lot of trouble trying to get this over the past few weeks, but we're finally here. But I want to quickly remind you, you can catch us on TikTok as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at Hoes and Podcast. And for those of you interested in promos and shout outs, you can shoot us a DM on IG at Hoes and Podcast as well as email us at hoetohusbandpodcast@gmail.com. All right, T.
I want to start off by giving a shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background music. I'd like to remind everybody to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. We definitely appreciate it. And I'd like to also remind everybody that you can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. Today's episode is titled Chasing the Thrill. We're going to be having a real candid conversation about how some of our natural desires and preferences don't necessarily lead to our best choices for our long-term relationship success. But y'all know how we do around here, man. We like to start off by discussing stuff that we've seen trending on our timelines. So this first video seems to be a hot topic all over social media. It's a man and woman discussing coffee dates. Let's take a look.
I would never ask a woman who I'm like, wow, like she's gorgeous. She seems really cool. Like I could see some potential here. I would never risk asking her on a coffee date as a first date because you want a man that wants to impress you off the bat, right? So if I'm going coffee, that means that I'm unsure if I even find you like attractive, in my opinion, because it's kind of like I need to feel this out. Coffee days, I need to feel this out because I'm unsure if I want to invest more time, energy, money.
I don't know. It communicates to me you're just not that into
I
me.
agree.
You know, you're just like, I'll spend $3 on this.
I 100% agree.
I saw women being like, yeah, but I want to do a vibe check. And to your point, yeah, women want to do a vibe check.
Yes.
You kind of want the guy, whether he's right about you or not, you kind of want the guy that's like, I think you're hot and you seem cool from the one time we met or from the app, whatever. Like the women can be like, I want to do a vibe check.
Fine.
But you should want a guy that's excited about you from the jump.
Exactly.
Because women don't grow on men.
Yes.
Men grow on women.
Correct. That's exactly my point. If you as a woman want a vibe check coffee date, I'm okay with that.
100%.
If you want to do that because it makes you feel more comfortable meeting somebody during the day before you go out at night with a guy for safety reasons, like I'm totally on board with that. But I'm telling you what it means if a guy asks you on a coffee date.
All right, so I don't agree with everything that they said. They made some very interesting points, and I can understand their perspective. But to me, I don't think that a guy should be trying to impress a woman on, to start off the dating process. I think that's a flawed mentality, and that's usually the perspective of guys that haven't really had success with women. Because when you place women on a pedestal and you go into it like this, I'm just so happy to be here, I hope she goes out with me type of vibe, you put yourself at a major disadvantage, and you're most likely going to get friend zoned with that type of energy. To me, I think the first interaction that you have with a woman is your vibe check. Were you able to make a joke? Were you able to make her laugh? How did you have to beg for her to give her your number? Like if there's the vibe is really there, things flow naturally. And with all the technology that we have today, phone conversations, a FaceTime call, it's very easy to tell whether a woman is if the initial vibe is there. Now, at any moment, dating is fluid. Somebody could say something that changes your perspective on them, but the 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 vibe check to decide whether I want to hang out with you or see you in person, that's already been established before I shot my shot. And so the coffee date thing, I wouldn't be afraid. I think you through those conversations you should be able to tell what if it ain't coffee, you can suggest drinks or something like that. And I think that will let you know where things should go moving forward.
Absolutely. What this does here, I don't agree with necessarily in what he said. I kind of think it reinforces the contingent of women out there that say, yeah, I don't do coffee dates, or I'm too good for a coffee date. It kind of panders to that contingent. Not saying he's a panderer. I don't know this guy. I don't know his platform or anything. I haven't really listened to anything he said. But like you said, If you're trying to go out your way to impress a woman, you put yourself at a major disadvantage because you're pedestalizing that woman that wasn't warranted to begin with. When you're saying, well, I gotta do this horse and pony show, take her to this expensive place just to impress her, and 9 times out of 10 you just get put in the friend zone anyway, just like you said here. If I say, and you know, we've said this thousands of times, we've said this ad nauseum here. If a woman likes you, it doesn't even matter what you take. Whether you take her to coffee, hell, you take her to the hot dog stand. If she likes you, she values the time spent, not necessarily where you take her per se.
Right, because like I said, just suggesting drinks or something. Let's link up here. You know, what are you doing Thursday? Doing something to where you can meet in person. You can always. I guess one of the key components. I don't know why most people don't. I thought all guys did this, but suggesting. That's the key to success of dating. While you are with the person, while you're on the phone, you are suggesting and creating new opportunities to link up. You know what I mean? Like, and so while you're on the date, if the date is going well or the link up is going well, you should be suggesting something else. Man, Friday they got such and such. Michael's coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you seen Michael? Like, you could be suggesting something that you figured out that they're interested in, or that could possibly put you in a position to dance or be around her again. So I don't think it automatically means what he said, like a guy offering to go get drinks or go get coffee or something like that means he's only want to spend a couple of dollars on a date, because that could initially be where y'all meet to go get dinner afterwards or do something else. So that part seems to be like a negative assumption that I disagree with.
Yeah, no question about it. Yeah, you know, but like I said, I've never listened to this platform, but like I said, it just, for me, it comes off somewhat pandering, because it's just, he was kind of just agreeable. He was just more so agreeable to what the women were saying. And it just, like I said, it just kind of reinforces that disposition that, yeah, as a man really wants to impress me or really likes me, he should take me to somewhere extravagant and go out his way to impress. And mind you, 9 times out of 10, the woman that you're dealing with, she's not going out of her way to impress you. Yeah, she might get dressed up. Don't get it wrong. She's going to probably put her best foot, throw makeup on,
But that's not necessary, because in order for a guy to shoot his shot, the attraction is already figured out from his perspective. So for a guy, your approach to dating or what your goal should be is figuring out if it's mutual. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see if you actually like me, if you actually find me attractive, if there's actually a vibe. And you can tell that by how things go. Is there any physical touch? Are you stiff arming me? Are you giving me a side hug at the end of the day? Like, all that type of stuff let me know that you're not really feeling me like that. And as a guy, you have to be able to react accordingly. Like, stop trying. Like, I talk all the time about I learned that lesson in high school. But yeah, chasing a chick or trying to convince a chick to date you or give you a chance is always going to put you in an undesirable position as a man. So let's keep things rolling. Now this next video, I saw this and it highlighted a lot of the frustration that guys express online. This was a video of Hitman Holla from Wild 'N Out. Him and his girl have a podcast where they were discussing their relationship, and he was complaining about a lack of appreciation for the lifestyle he provides her. Let's take a look.
Avoid this. The way I treat her, the way I live life, I should be able to go out every weekend. I don't. Cool. I shouldn't hear this the first time. I shouldn't hear it. That's all. That's my whole problem. That's my only problem. She's a great girl. She's a great fiance, great mother, all that. My only problem is I feel like I'm getting treated like a nigga who's ain't shit. I know niggas right now who treat their girls terrible, who don't, you know what I'm saying, who don't feel like I feel. And that's what's confusing me. Like, what am I doing this for? That's unreal. And I know I do it for, like, I'm a man, I'm supposed to do it. Like, I live a good way. Like, my mom and dad was married since I was 6. That's all I know. Only been in 2 relationships. I'm a lover boy, so I know I do it. That's just what's in me. But that is what's triggering me, because I just feel like she don't appreciate the type of man she got. That's all I feel. I just feel like she's spoiled as she should be. But I just feel like the things she chooses to say to me, I worked hard enough where that stuff shouldn't get said to me.
Now he has a valid point, especially for a man in his position. He got celebrity status. He's on TV. He's doing shows. He's traveling and doing all these type of things. So he's doing everything that a man is supposed to be doing. Right? All the stuff that women say that they want from a man, he's meeting it. He's in shape. He's making sure keeping up with his appearance and all that. And he's not just outside constantly. And so I watched a little bit more of the exchange. It was a typical situation where a woman spins the narrative, and so she made it seem like he goes at the way she was talking. You would think that he's out constantly. You know what I mean? Like, so she had a complaint about him being out. You get to go out and party, and I'm stuck with the kids. Like, she's having to do all this hard work, and all you do is party. And he had to correct her, like, hold on. I went out one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? And so you could see his frustration, and it got pretty tense because men deal with that all the time, where they misrepresent something to the crowd, where they portray something a certain way. Like, hold on, you being controlled because I suggested something or I asked you to change something? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're trying to control me. Oh, you're trying to, like, so it's like, it was that type of vibe where it's like, damn, if you gonna complain about a guy that's providing you with the luxury and the designer and all the stuff that women want on social media, then men are doomed. And on all levels of income, status, etc., men express the same thing. There's a level of entitlement that comes when you provide a good lifestyle for women, and it's unfortunate. But I've been seeing people talk about don't be her first good man. You know what I mean? Like, that's starting to be kind of a mindset of the modern guy based off what we see.
Yeah, no, I think the disconnect comes is, I think there's a lot of women coming to it, they feel entitled to it. They should just get it just because. All they have to do is basically just be attractive, just look good, and they should get up just because of that and not really have to work or put anything into it or invest anything into it to get there, right? And for most men, especially for ones that provide that sort of lifestyle, men just want to feel, appreciated. And you see, okay, he's doing everything, but he's not being appreciated. He's just taken for granted as if that should just be a given here. I believe that's what disconnect is.
I think there's also, from the female perspective, there's a lot of the things that men do is invisible. They don't see it. They're not around to deal with it. They're not realizing how many problems he solves or fires he puts out. So men ain't the one. They ain't got to put a story up about everything they do, and they don't have to glorify or project to the world everything that's going on with them. Most men they just do what needs to be done. And so it's interesting because women always have this, oh, my job, taking care of the house and the kids is so hard, even when the hardest part of life is getting the money to survive. So when you got a man that's providing majority of the money, paying majority of the bills, making sure you straight, your life really can't be that hard. And it's really interesting because I saw a video recently where a dude, he's a stay-at-home dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, oh man, it's the easiest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my routine, the kids is here, I got hours where they sleep, where I get to do my own thing. And so it kind of dispels this myth of how difficult it is to have kids. I understand that everybody needs a break and you can get burnt out, but there are a whole lot of things that are more difficult than making sure a toddler is safe, eats, and you know what I'm saying, and they diapers are changed or whatnot. So this kind of highlights that imbalance that men have to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Even just aside from the kids, right? Just the day-to-day chores or duties around the house, I should say. Even that, a lot of that's been outsourced, right? I mean, think about it. If you live in an apartment or even a newer home, most come with a dishwasher already, right? you have a washer and dryer in the house already. So that cuts out half the time of the work you would have to do there. So
Yeah. I mean, having a woman that is a good mother and her mentality is kind of what you should be evaluating as a man. Like he gave her credit in the video. She's a good mom. She does this and all that. But she seems to be really influenced by the social media, like the play the victim. I need to speak negatively about my man publicly, even though he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. I have to try to make it seem like my man is out here running the streets when he's really not. He's really out here handling business and working. So it can get frustrating, and we see all this in custody battles and all this stuff, how women misrepresent the reality and give partial truths and all these type of things when it's their version of the story. But then when the actual facts get presented, a lot of times the men end up with custody or the women end up paying the man child support and all these type of things. So the lack of appreciation, those are the type of things that make a man stop wanting to willingly do those things. And I do disagree with something he said. I don't feel like women should be spoiled. I don't feel like kids should be spoiled. I can't think of one positive things that comes from spoiling someone. Like the word spoil in itself means something is rotten or bad, or it has a negative connotation to it. And so giving someone everything that they want, everything that they ask for, everything that they desire, doing it when they want it done. That is the seeds that entitlement comes from.
yeah, absolutely. And I feel like when you're spoiling something, they're not going to appreciate or value because it's right there at their feet. It's right there in abundance. So they feel like they're just getting it just because there's I guess there's no incentive on them to really appreciate that. And I think it creates a level of entitlement that they should. But even women, children, or whomever, right? It creates a level of time that they're supposed to just get it simply because they want it.
Right. That's one of the issues that I had with the Steve Harvey advice. I spoil my daughter, so I'm setting a standard for every man. Like that's not a realistic standard, and that's not the way for any relationship to be healthy. You have to give up something. Part of being in a relationship is I'm gonna have to make choices and decisions that you're okay with. We have to compromise on certain things. So nobody is ever gonna be able to just get everything that they want, and the idea of spoiling a woman is going to lead to happiness, we see that that's not true. Billionaires get divorced. You know what I'm saying? These women are flying on yachts and private planes, and they still unhappy. They still cheat. They still complain about their husbands. They still complain about things that normal women complain about. So spoiling women and having them max, billions of dollars or millions of dollars, none of that leads to relationship success. You know what I mean? So I think just videos and situations like this just highlight that. All right, man, we're about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into today's topic, Chasing the Thrill, where we're discussing how some of our natural desires and dating decisions don't necessarily lead to long-term success. You are tuned into the Hold a Husband podcast. We'll be back in a minute. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hold a Husband podcast. Today's episode is titled Chasing the Thrill. We're having a conversation about how our short term decisions usually don't lead to long term success for men and for women. And so we got to take some accountability for the way that we move the way that we move. So, I guess it's pretty clear when you look at people's dating history and the divorce rate and all the stuff that's going on, that if just given what we want or what we desire, uh, we men and women tend to make bad choices or only things that suit us for the right now. Women with the bad boys, women choose, ignoring the guys and friend zoning the guys that have husband material and will be good fathers. It's the guys chasing the baddies, chasing the thoughts, you know, ignoring the chick that they could build with long term because they're more excited or they're more physically attracted to the, the girl that's in the streets. Um, I guess a certain level of maturity has to, be established before you can have the wisdom to see those things up front. Um, but I'm a firm believer in learning from other people's mistakes. So that was kind of the approach that I took as far as having a baby mama and just being reckless with who you sleep with. The guys that I saw doing things like that, it seems like they compounded the problems that they had to deal with at a very young age, and that's something I really wanted to avoid.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty clear that men and women dating decisions benefits them in short term, but based on our collective and dating history.
Yeah, I guess when you see how dating has changed, the courting process or the get to know each other period has shortened a lot, and the access that you have to people now allows people to make preconceived notions and screen people that they date or whatnot. The social media, being able to see pictures of them, being able to see videos of them out and about. You didn't get glimpses of people's lives like that back in the day, and so now you have to have the wisdom to know that all of it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like there it's a
Right.
highlight reel. It's not, most people don't put all their business on social media. And to me that would be a red flag too. Like when you're dating somebody, you don't want nobody to go to social media with all their issues and all their problems. Like those are the type of things that I would be evaluating a woman's social media for, if I was dating in today's era. Um, but yeah, man, the things that we like short term, because guys, our initial attraction is sexual, whether
Exactly.
I was smashed or not. And you have to put more filters in place, in order to
Yeah.
make some sound decisions.
I you have everything right there. Nowadays the way we date is through dating apps. That's how like most people meet their significant other through dating apps, and we have social media. So we have more access and more things to you have access to men and women here.
Yeah, it's really funny when we talk about dating decisions. As a teenager, I started questioning the dating decisions from the women in my family, my cousins, my aunts, even my mom.
Yeah.
My sister and brother's dad was a solid dude. You know what I'm saying? Took care of home and whatnot, and my mom was pressuring them to get married. You know what I'm saying? So they broke up over, like, I think she gave him an ultimatum or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what ended the relationship. And
So
she ended up getting with a dude that she worked with that was one of these. He had a crush on her, and you know what I'm saying, like just
mm,
a yes man type of dude. So
ah
I
man.
see, and so I remember telling her, like, man, you don't want to marry this dude, you just want to be married. You know what I mean? Like I remember telling my mom that before they got married, and true enough, it she didn't respect him. She didn't really like a dude like that. And so I had somebody in my life that I mean, I hate to view him like that, but
Right.
who I don't want to be like. You know what I'm saying?
You have the template right there of what you don't want to be like. But so she broke up with the previous guy before because she gave him a timeline. Hey, we need to be married by X
I
amount of
don't know
months.
exactly how it was, but
Okay.
I know she moved. We moved out because he didn't get married.
Oh
You
wow.
know, I had heard her talking about being married or whatnot, and we lived together. The same rhetoric. We playing house, like even though he was paying the bills and doing, what I'm saying, like he was
Right.
providing. Um, I don't know what his philosophy. He's never been married, even to this day. He's still never been married. So
Oh,
I
wow.
guess that was his philosophy on it. But to me, that was a bad decision making. That was bad long term decision making for a short term want. You know, you ruining a relationship where a man is taking care of you, accepted a kid that wasn't his, and all this type of thing, just because he's not giving you the ring in your timeline. To me, that was bad decision making. But
Wow.
we see that all the time. You know, the girls that the too nice conversations. Like I've had plenty of chicks tell me I'm too smart, I'm too nerdy, I'm too this, I'm too that, and it's like, hold
Yeah.
on, I thought these was all good qualities that women
Right.
wanted in men, but no, they don't. They won't. You know, I remember, you know, being a youngster, like I wasn't in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like some chicks, like you too nerdy. You a college boy. Like I don't. Chicks didn't found all kind of insults for me. You know what I mean? Like, but what women say they want and what they actually want usually aren't the same thing. And so if you just sit back and peep who they actually give their time, attention, and sex to, you start to get some of the real answers. And you start to realize you ain't got to be nice. You ain't got to be, you know what I'm saying, like bringing flowers and doing all that stuff to have success with women. You
Yeah.
like
I mean, that's
actually
what.
it's kind of the opposite if you want to be honest.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I mean, that's where the this bad boy phenomenon comes into play here, where women are shown, hey, they're more attracted to the bad boy, the guy that's more fun and exciting, co comes with, a questionable character here. We see it all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, you know, I can think back from, you know, my college days and whatnot, having a reputation for being a hoe or being a player, whatever you want to call it. Man, I can't even tell you how many women that actually helped. You know what I'm saying? That's why guys don't mind being called a slut or whatnot, because it actually helps with women and it gives you status and respect among guys. They want, what'd you say? How'd you get it? They find out you smashing somebody they want, they wish they could hit. What'd you say to her? How'd you get it? You know, so like they want all these kind of details on
Right.
where you what you said and what you did and all this type of stuff. Um, I guess, you know, if you ain't living it, you want to live vicariously through somebody else. Um, so that type of lifestyle, for guys, it puts you on the radar because getting it out your system and going through so many women, you learn what you like, you learn what you don't like, you learn the difference, you learn to evaluate, you learn to problem solve. Ironically, the things that it takes for a man to be a hoe are the exact same skills and qualities that make him a good husband and father eventually. So
Yep. And then it comes to the next one comes to play is lust-driven decisions, right? I mean, women most of the men chase excitement, right? That's the main thing with the bad boys. He's exciting. The good guy can be considered boring here. But lust-driven decisions where boys are told the dangers of thinking with their little head, but can't control what arouses them and gets their attention. So boys take lots of risk and pursue the benefits of sex and choose women they feel they can get sex from.
yeah, that's a real complex thing. You know, as a boy, you see what's going on with the older guys and the older girls, and you see that they're gravitating towards older guys, dudes that can drive, dudes that got money, these type of things. And so guys naturally put themselves in positions to sell dope, to do things, to rob, to that's the easy route. You know what I mean? And it's very similar to women choosing to strip or do something, you know, the sex industry. That's the eat. They don't have, it ain't no skill requirements in order to be a stripper. You just have to be a, really, you can look like anything these days. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
OnlyFans, somebody got a fetish for obese, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so really any type of woman, if she has those type of morals, can find some type of way to try to monetize her sexuality. And so guys, they gonna take it. They're the financiers of this, you know, the
Uh,
OnlyFans and all these type of
yeah.
industries where women are monetizing sexuality. It's not usually women that are paying for other women because women don't have to work to get sex. So
Right.
it's generally the men that women don't really want, that they just want for their money, just want them to pay their bills, that they coming up with all these extravagant standards and all these requirements for. And fellas, you don't want to be in that category, man. You want to be able to attract women based off what you bring to the table as a guy and the type of character you have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you usually a lot of times when men are leaving with money to get women, they're compensating for something else, right? It's usually a lack of game, a lack of social skills, but there's something lacking, which is why you're using money to get women.
Well, I mean, that usually means a lack of personality for a lot of people,
True.
but or he just has an abundance of it. Like for guys that are wealthy and all that, that's the easiest and most direct way to get what you want out of women. You know what I mean? Like women will sign up for a lot of foolishness when they know that they're gonna be able to get money from the guy, have the type of items that they can floss on social media, ride in Rolls Royce and Bentleys and these type of things where they can get videos and stories and
Yeah.
show the headrest and do all the type of stuff that we see on our timelines on a regular basis. But that thrill of living that fast life, they put their risk to be baby mama number seven. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
they do all these things to put themselves in a bad spot. Um, what's what's interesting is when women's reputation or past comes to haunt them, the lack of accountability for it becomes really apparent. And what comes to mind is yesterday news broke that Clay
Clay
Thompson and
Thompson.
Megan Stallion. Yeah, so Clay, I thought he was simping out. You know what I'm saying?
I thought he
I'm like,
was too.
I'm like, oh man, he's finna marry this thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't gonna talk negative about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't learned. You know what I'm saying? I thought because he's in, doing holidays with the family and all this. I'm like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
she writing songs about him, my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, okay. The next thing you know, she about to have a baby bomb. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a major lick for her. You get a man that's worth 200-300 million dollars in
Yeah.
the NBA, but women will, he's going his reputation in the streets is getting a lot. He's gonna be able to level up as far as women because now he's gonna have the respect to because everybody was looking at him like a lame at first. You know what I mean? Like, ah, man, you wifing up her. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like with not that she just has the worst reputation ever or anything, but it's a lot of red flags, lying on Tory, going on
Yeah.
TV, lying about who you had sex with, the whole shooting incident, changing the scenario. So there are a bunch of red flags, the drinking, the whole bunch of stuff that would lead me to think that fun only, short term kicking it, max. So maybe that was his end game. But we don't know the details. But I'm just seeing the discourse about it, and the women are hot. They are all acting like Megan's reputation didn't have anything to do with how he viewed her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. When I saw this, and then so it's you see a lot of women getting on UI platforms, kind of just trashing Clay Thompson and kind of just acting like Meg said didn't have a reputation. As you just named, the lying on Tory Lanez and any of that. That
Yeah, the
just kind of went by the
baby. There's like
wayside.
a list of dudes that ran through her. You know what I'm saying? Like documented. Um, who it reminds me of the meme I've seen where it's like not a trainer dude smashing a chick, and then there's the
Yeah.
dude in the back with the flowers,
Yep.
waiting, to woo her and wipe her up. That's who I thought Clay Thompson was when the news of them seriously dating and all that.
Um.
No, so I'm I'm not glad that he cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like that's drama that he could have just ended it. But I'm glad he didn't end up going for the okey doke. Like if they would have
Yeah.
been
Same
pregnant and
here.
announcing a wedding, I would have. We probably would have had him on trending topics.
Yep. When I heard this thing trending, honestly, I thought they were saying, he got a pregnant because I just kept saying his name pop up. So I was like, did he get her pregnant or something?
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure what happened either. But I guess he's gonna be the poster boy for cheating for the until somebody else get caught up.
Yep.
So we'll see how this goes. Who he ends up with next. But it looks like we up against the clock, man. We about to get up out of here. Before we go, man, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background music. I'd like to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. Jay, I appreciate you linking up so we can get this
Yes, sir.
episode knocked out. Looking forward to getting it SD back on so we can, have everything flow like normal. This has been another episode of the Hold the Husband podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.